Okay, everybody. I'm just about to do the split so that this can actually be worn. Now, there's a multitude of ways that we could go about this, but what I think we've decided is that we're going to peel the back of the head. So I'm going to put a cut down the center of the back of the head, or possibly just down one side, and then we're going to put a cut across here, and then the back of the head will kind of be able to peel out. Maybe I will go with, this is a deeper groove here, but then we can also sculpt this groove deeper. This center section really, the very center, I haven't actually truly sculpted that yet because we've done some mirroring and I'm yet to clean that up. So when I do, I can probably put a deeper groove there, make it so that both parts of the back split outwards to about here somewhere. Or I can make one central flap, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going to be best. Probably, it seems to make sense to have it split at the center of the back of the head to me. But you know, who knows? We'll see. It does make the most sense though. Split it right at the middle, and then split it to there and to there at the back, and that'll kind of allow the top to flap up a little bit as well. And I think that we'll have a fair bit of luck getting it on. Probably even realistically, we could probably even split it around to about here if we wanted to, so the whole back of the head peels out nice and easily. You don't want it to be a struggle to get on, but you better get your face in there. So there's that, and then there's the eye sockets. So let's get stuck straight into it and make it happen. So I think first I'll do the sculpt. I'll just finish off that bit of sculpting down the center line. So we'll go with our smooth tool. Now, at the moment I don't have the symmetry on, and I probably won't turn it on unless I need to for some reason. So at this stage of the game, I think a little bit of asymmetry is actually probably better. I think we might increase the depth of these grooves all round a little bit as well, and then that's going to make it easy to hide our business. Looking for anything else that sort of needs a bit of dust up. Smooth, I'll just put a little groove there, but I'll go back to that when I change tools. Now, as far as the teeth goes, whoa, sorry everybody. Apologies for the audio earlier. I forgot to put my headset on.
So anyway, back to it. I'll just smooth it up a bit more. Yeah, as
Yeah,
far
as
as
far
the
as
teeth
the
goes,
teeth
I
goes,
don't
I
know
don't know
whether
whether
we need to add the
add the
grooves in
grooves in
between the
between the
teeth. I
teeth. I
can't
see
see
them
them
on
on
the
the
pictures
pictures really as
a
defined
defined
features.
feature,
So
so
that's
that's
probably
probably
something
something
that
that
can
can
be
be
done
done
when
when
they
they
paint
paint
it.
it.
If
If
that's
that's
not the
not
go,
the go,
Steve,
Steve, let me know.
I can
I
put
can
some
put some
grooves in,
grooves in,
and
and
perhaps
perhaps
give
give
it
it
a bit of a dig
a
and
dig
see if
and
we
see
can
if we
find a
can find a
reference
reference
for
for
the
the
teeth
teeth
look
look
like.
like.
Right, I think we're done
We're
with the
done with the
smooth
smooth
tool.
tool.
Choose
Choose
that
that
tool
tool
there.
there
I'm going
and
to use
use
the
the
draw
draw
to
to
brush.
brush.
And
And
then
go
go round.
round.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Just doing the exact opposite of what I wanted
Then.
then. Particularly make this groove a little deeper. Probably went a bit far for that actually. This is going to make it a bit easier to hide that cut. Some grooves are deep all around. Plus a little bit better. This
So
area
here just needs a little bit of work as well. Where the scan kind of munted that a little bit. I'm going to chop the scan out. So we'll just go with a bubbles to there. Dust up. Probably should use the strips. I'm just going to make sure that that edge is nice and soft because we want to print as a sharp edge. Oops. Some bubbles in those edges. Why is it shrinking it still? Right, we'll inflate them. Oh, I'm using the back of the tool, that's why it's inflating. Maybe we should make this a little bit less tight around the neck anyway. That shrinks smooth. Not so much on the face, but I might shrink smooth a good chunk of that back. I'm going to save a version of this before I do the split, because if there is any issues with the split, I don't want to have to try and re-sculpt something that's got the split in it to get the finished product looking nice like it does now. So smooth that way a little bit more.
see that colour scheme for a sec. Sec. Gets in there a little bit better. Just having a hard time seeing in there then. Alrighty, we're going to select a little region here. What I'll probably do, let me think. I think I'll select from the back. Kind of just do that all the way around. Actually, no, I got a better idea. We'll use the crease angle threshold. I'm going to select a nice big chunk all the way around, and that will hopefully not wrap around the inside of the eye. Should check that. Yep, perfect. Very handy tool, the crease angle threshold. Alrighty, so we're going to take that bit. I'm then going to do the same. I'll do both eyes at once. I'm just trying to get a nice selection of the inside of the eye, but I'm going to do that by doing a little hack. I think hopefully it works. Yeah, old pen is having a hard time keeping up. All that work, all that selecting. Alright, now here for the magic. Hit Control, and I'm going to roll the mouse wheel so that we get a reasonably even selection going inside that eye socket. No, it worked out pretty well. That's good. Alrighty, and now I'm going to get my tool again, and I'm going to erase that bit. I'm not going to be too fussy about getting every single square of it, because I'm just going to make some face groups now at this stage of the game. I only need to separate the bits that I care about from the bits that I don't. But might actually make the brush a bit small because that's shooting off how long it's taking to move. A little bit more. That's better. Now we've got a nice even selection on the inside of our eye, and I can go modify, create face group, and when I look here we'll see that they are their own face groups now, which is good. So now they can easily be selected with a double click. Now what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can roll that selection outwards further. To kind of encompass that whole area, and then can I unselect those bits? Yes, I can. again, all I'm going to be doing at this stage is creating face groups, so it's not critical to get this all completely perfect, and I'm just going to neaten up this shape a little bit. I'm actually going to offset this section a little bit further. In it, I think. Still working out the exact particulars on how I'm going to do this, but alrighty. For another modify, create face group. Okay. Now, the question is, exactly where do we finish up our ring section? So what we're going to make is we're actually going to make some little frames that hold the eye lenses. Now what I'm kind of picturing doing, just going to smooth this boundary. A lot. Lots of iterations of it. That looks pretty nice. Looks good to me. Now what I'm kind of thinking of doing is going edit, offset, and doing say minus 5mm. That sort of works for me, but I want to go with a softer transition than that. That's not so brutal. So I might do a, say, 10mm soft transition. Maybe a 20mm soft transition. Just sort of subtly. The thing I want to make sure of is that these bits can be popped in from the back without interfering with anything there. I'm going to go back to let's even try 5. Or maybe we go 0 and then just hand smooth the outside edges. It's probably actually good to have that hard edge actually. Yeah, let's go with that. And then I'm just going to go with my sculpture tool. And go with the shrink smooth. A little bigger. I'll just go around and clean hide my face groups at the moment. We don't need them for now. Yeah, that was a good call. It gives me a nice little lip to butt that up against. I have to be careful not to go near this edge here. If I change that edge, it's bad news for trying to join things back together. I might even just smooth that bit once I've rejoined it, I think. That would be okay, I think. Still probably need a bit more afterwards though. Alrighty. Sweet, so there's that. And now I think what I can do, let's go back to our face groups for a sec, is actually select these little buggers. I think I'll select those and those, and then roll in my selection bit. Smooth my boundary, and we'll look at the boundary all around. That could work. So let me check that. No. I'm going to just go with selecting those bits. I'm going to separate them, duplicate them, join them back, close cracks. Now I have a spare copy of them. Okay, so now we should be able to offset these. Okay. Why is it got a bloody crack on it? Oh, I see. Something might be inside out. No, they're not. No, nothing's inside out. Ah, hang on. Did I accidentally make two sets? Yep, I did. I made two copies, that's all it was. I think I offset that in the wrong direction. Alright, so that is clashing with the mesh a little bit there. So the outside edge of those needs to be tweaked a little bit. That could actually be done in the real world with sandpaper pretty easily. But we might be able to just quickly give that a bit of a... Will it work if we do a soft transition on it and just make it smaller? It appears to work. I'm just going to go with that, because that worked. Alright, they should fit without any problems. And if we don't like it, we can always do another offset off the other one, so I'll keep them too. Alright, we'll call those lens frame. Lens frame. I'm pretty sure Steve's confident enough in mesh mixers to actually probably make his own lens frame out of those if he needs them. So I'll just leave those as is. What's this? Oh, that's the other half of the hair for Rhubarb mask. Which I actually probably should join on now and stitch back together again and fix up that last bit of joining work. So we've done the eye sockets, I believe. Combine, close cracks, and we're going to do a little check for any little misdemeanors there. We'll go into the inspector, and there's no faults. That's good. Done. Now I think I'll just go and have a little bit more of a polish in here. Don't need face grips anymore. I reckon I was a little bit hasty around that edge there where I was worried. Hole there. Strange things happen when you're going around the twist. Doing that with the mouse, but there we go. Okay, so now I've patched that up, now I should be able to smooth that over without any issues. That's better. I know that was only a small flaw, but it was worth doing. Alrighty. Pretty damn happy with that sculpt. Now there's the I Love Cops bit on the back, which I have not touched yet. Guess we should get onto that. I'm just going to bring up my reference drawings, sorry, one sec. Alright. Oh, those leaves are going to be a bitch. What have we got going on there? I didn't even notice those. Actually, I might just double check, because by the time I get those leaves in there and that's quite a lot of stuff to do. I will double check that Steve wants that on there before I go into that detail. And hang on, if we're going to be putting it in the back of the head, that split, we need to know that now. Okay, I'm going to double check whether they want to do that, because that could be just as easy to do by getting 2 leaves off a plastic plant. And I know that Steve would be able to draw that up in Fusion 360 and have it as like a literal a clip-on add-on. So we'll double check before I go ahead and sculpt that. That's something that needs to be done within my part of the work, or whether he wants to take care of that himself. So, alright, well look, I'm going to call that good on there. I might just quickly, while I'm still on this stream, I might go in and just fix up this mouth area. And actually that's something we need to discuss as well, Steve. Before we do that, we'll discuss whether... Alright, so I'll make this a summary for the last bit of the video. So Steve, we need to know whether to just sculpt out this mouth a bit more and detail those crevices a bit better, where it should be like an angle and a bit of a harder line there. Or whether you want me to completely cut that out and then you'll glue some fabric in a similar fashion to what we've done with the eyes, but with a black fabric. So just let me know what you want to do there, and we'll go from there with that. I think that's a wise move to stop and not do that without checking. And so yeah, just to summarise how I'm planning on doing this cut. So I think we can take a cut along this, let me do a suggested line, sort of along here, and either go to say, oops, back a little bit. We could come down here like that and have it split there, and that will let you peel that part of the head back one way, all the way back to kind of here, even though it will sort of flex a bit funny around this bit, and I don't think we should cut like underneath that or anything weird like that. So I think it'll just be a case of just flexing to there and hopefully being open enough to get in. Or we could make it so that so we'll call that option A, or we could go with putting a deeper groove down here so it looks better, and then making it split both ways to about there in that groove, and then you'd peel it out both directions kind of thing, and pop your head in that way. So those are the 2 things that I see as being the logical choices. The question also is whether we need maybe a little split under the chin so that can sort of partly split a little bit as well, or maybe even put a cut under like that portion of it, sort of from there to there sort of thing maybe. So that bit can also kind of flex out a little bit further there too, perhaps. I don't know. So food for thought. Let me know what you reckon, mate. Because we do need to definitely make sure that it opens up far enough for the head to be able to get in. Or the other thing is we could split it further here to around to there. And then that would really let that open right up. And I'm thinking for the joiners, like on this part here, I reckon we'd want to just put like bumps on the bit on one half and a hole the shape of the bump on the other for that bit, so that they kind of interlock more or less without a proper clip, and then just have some proper clip bits that plug into each other down the back here with these So that's the pin. Oh, where did you go, you bloody thing? Anyway, so I'll just go back so you can see them. So that's the pin, and this is the hole. So you actually mesh that hole out of the object, and then you just print the pins separate, and they pop in and flex in. So I reckon we put a row of them down the back here. And yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to put them in here because that could just be a pain to put the thing on them. So we'll see what we reckon is required, but I think we could probably get away with that. Just having like some little, half sphere kind of shaped bumps, or maybe some little pyramid shaped bumps that kind of, stab into a hole that's the inverse shape along around it, kind of on our inside of our join there, so that it kind of goes together. And maybe make it so that this cut is actually on a bit of an angle that doesn't directly go straight in, and actually has a bit of a fucking key sort of a vibe to it, so that it kind of it doesn't just have a gap that you can see straight through. Anyway, so yep, that's the summary. Let me know what you think about that, whether you want to go with method A or method B, with it opening from one side or from both sides with a gap in the centre. Like saloon doors or a barn door. And yeah, tell me if you're happy with those eyes and the frames. And yeah, what to do with the mouth. So we'll just summarise that, and I'm going to cut this one short now, and we'll get that figured out. Unless Steve's messaged me, I'll just check. He might have already answered. No message from Steve. Alright, I'm going to wrap this one up, take a break, and I'll do another stream shortly, everyone.